Hello, students of class 12. Today we will talk about compensation of employees. Compensation of employees. A major component of income method of national income account. What is this compensation of employees? We know in an economy, income generates from property, income generates from entrepreneurship, also income generates from labor power. So applying our labor power, we can earn. So compensation of employees refers to the payment for labor power, payment for labor service, maybe mental labor, maybe physical labor, or both, whatever it be. If it is the payment for work or payment for labor, we term it as compensation of employees. Now, if you are asked to calculate compensation of employees, then you have to know which items are to be taken into consideration as compensation of employees and which will not be taken. So in additive method, you have to know which components are to be taken and will be added to have compensation of employees. Always keep in mind, generally we can classify three types of compensations are given to the workers. Number one, compensation given regularly in the working period. That is wages and salaries to the workers. It is given regularly in their working period. Compensation number one. And some compensations are given occasionally. This is bonus. Given time after time, occasionally, when financial condition develops, occasionally workers may be given bonus. So some compensations are given occasionally, not regularly. This will also be taken into consideration if given in one accounting year. It is number two. And number three, some compensations are given after the end of working period. This is called future benefit. After retirement, they will realize this. So, compensation not only given in the working period, compensation may be given after the end of the working period, after their retirement also. These are given by the employers as compensation of the service rendered by them, and we get compensation of employees. Now, suppose we are calculating compensation of employees by additive method. Here, so many items are given to the workers. These are the items given to the workers. We have to know which items will be taken into consideration to estimate compensation of employees by additive method. First is employer's contribution to social security scheme. Employers regularly contribute in a fund which will be realized in future after retirement. Maybe a contribution to provident fund. In this way, for the future benefit of the workers, if some compensation given by the employers, that will be taken into consideration. So employer's contribution is taken into consideration. Next item is employees' contribution to social security schemes. SSS means social security scheme. This second item, employees' contribution to social security scheme, will not be taken into consideration. Why? Because employer, whatever they will contribute from their own income, which is wages and salaries. already it is taken into consideration. So again, if you consider employees' contribution, that will lead to double count. I repeat, as because wages and salaries are taken into consideration, so if part of it is given in the fund for future benefit, then it will lead to double counting. Already we have taken into consideration wages and salaries, and employees' contribution will be from that wages and salaries. So always keep in mind, employees' contribution will not be taken into consideration. It is a trap for you. You must not be caught in that trap. You need employer's contribution, not employees' contribution. So second item will not be taken into consideration. Third, wages and salaries, major component, regularly given in the period of work, it is taken. Bonus, occasionally given, I told you, it is taken. Pension after retirement will be taken. But at last, traveling allowances to the salesmen will not be taken into consideration. Traveling allowance is an intermediate payment so that a service is generated. So traveling allowance is considered as intermediate cost of the business. The traveling allowance, if given to the workers, those who are working as salesmen, will not be considered. So now if we have to calculate compensation of employees, we will consider item number 1. Item number 1, employer's contribution will be considered. Item number 2 will not be considered. Item number 3, wages and salaries will be considered. Plus, item number 4, bonus, yes, it will be. Item number 5, pension after retirement, these will be included. In this list, we are considering item number 1, item number 3, item number 4, item number 5. We are not considering employees' contribution, we are not considering traveling allowances. So if you add them, you will get compensation of employees. Item number 1 is 20, employer's contribution 20, wages and salaries 100, bonus 10, pension after retirement 15. So total is 120, 130, 145. So in this way, adding the required component by additive method, we can get compensation of employees. But if these components are not given, then you have to follow deductive method. What is the procedure? You know the equation, NDPFC, domestic income, is equal to compensation of employees, C, plus operating surplus, plus mixed income. Suppose NDPFC is given 245, operating surplus given 80, and mixed income given 20. C is not given, you have to calculate. So if you know this equation, if you know the another components, value of another components, you can easily get compensation of employees from this equation. So we put the value and we get C is equal to 145 in deductive method also. So I repeat the whole thing. Number 1, compensation of employees refers to the payment for labor service. In additive method, we add the required components. And in deductive method, we deduct operating surplus and mixed income if given from domestic income, and the residual amount is compensation of employees. So this is the process of calculating compensation of employees. This much today. Thank you.